everybody, and welcome to Three Airs AMA. Yes, we are back again. It is time to have another AMA, which means that this is another opportunity, of course, for you to ask questions. There were already some questions in our community, but also today, whoever is with us live has the chance to ask questions because this is what AMA is all about. But still, we are, of course, bringing you closer a little more to our project. This is what we're doing. And I hope you are enjoying that. I hope you already know what 3Air is all about, but still, I'm going to do a short introduction at the beginning, as I always do. Anita Mlakar is my name. I'm the host of this AMA. And of course, I would like to invite you to be a part of our communities. We are on Twitter, on Discord, and on Telegram. Of course, you can follow us on our social networks. And you can subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you will get notifications whenever we are going live. Talking about our project, so what is it that 3Air is doing? We have actually two projects. And first is to connect Africa cities with stable internet connection. And of course, to give people connection to the world. So what we're doing is connecting the unconnected. And once people have we give them internet connection, then we can, of course, provide them with a lot of things, with digital identities. And we are banking the unbanked, giving them a wallet, and so on and so on. And we have also decided, and that is another very important project that 3Air is doing, on focusing on 3Air Global. And that has always been a part of the original plan. But now, since there are some delays in Africa, we, of course, have decided to focus on going global. So we plan to make it easy for travelers to be able to use the internet easily with a global SIM card. And this SIM card can be used anywhere in the world without waiting to buy a new SIM card to connect every time you come to another country. And this is what we're doing right now. And this is what we will be introducing also today. I hope that our CEO, Sandi Bitenc, will be able to join us because he's somewhere out there in the world. But he did say that he will join us for short. But of course, we have our Chief Revenue Officer, Ricardo Casanova, with us. And I'm really happy to say hello to Ricardo. Hello.
Hi, Anita. How are you?
I am great. Thank you very much, Ricardo. How are you today?
Excellent. It's early here in Canada.
Okay. Well, it's getting almost late here. I'm in Croatia right now, actually,
Oh, nice.
enjoying a little bit of coast and the sea. But yes, I'm nearly finishing the day. Ricardo, let us just check if maybe Sandy has managed to join us to say hello. And then, of course, we will tell our people a little bit what is going on right now and more about 3Air Global Project. Oh my God, Sandy, look at him.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi.
So it's early for Ricardo. It's getting late for you, and it's really late for me already. So I'm currently in Vietnam.
Oh my God.
Mm.
I think
Yeah,
5 hours.
this is actually the first proper kind of holiday since I think 3 years. And I haven't been riding a motorbike for 3 years. It's just that when I moved to Dubai, they took away my motorbike license and they just gave me the car license. So I needed to do a fresh one, and I just did it for this trip especially. So we are driving around Vietnam now with a motorbike.
Okay, how is it going? Is everything okay? Are you safe?
Everything is it's yeah, kind of safe, kind of safe. We hit some really bad roads, some really bad roads. So there was some tough moments, but we're managing.
Okay, that's brave, you know.
Yeah,
Well,
thanks.
Sandy, I know that you wanted to take holidays on full, but you just couldn't resist, right? Just to say at least hello
No,
in our AMA.
I
That is
needed
so nice.
to, yeah, I needed to jump in and say hello.
Thank you very much. Are you, you know, thinking about free air in these days? Thinking
Yeah,
about
for
a
sure.
future
It's
project?
I actually had two calls today. So yeah, I had one investor call and I had one call with a telco provider that we are trying to work together with. So I am still working. Yeah, it's just there's no way around it.
Yes, I can only imagine. I'm looking forward to this AMA because Ricardo will tell us a little bit more about 3R going global. He will be actually, let's say, pitching the project, or presenting it to us, and I'm looking forward to that. Sandi, stay near so that you'll be able to listen. I hope that you will enjoy the rest of your holiday, and thank you that you have managed to come and to say hi.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I wouldn't miss it.
Okay, thanks. So, Ricardo, what do you say? When will we go to Vietnam? Huh?
Yeah, good idea. Well, I need to learn how to ride a motorcycle, I think, first.
I'm not gonna do that. I don't think so. But if someone would be driving, that's okay, just to be a passenger on the seat. But otherwise, yeah, I have seen some pictures and some videos from Sandy and Petra, and I think it's just brave and amazing.
Gorgeous there, yeah.
Yeah, really. So, Ricardo, we will be talking about 3R going global. You have more information about that, about the steps that we will be taking and the whole project. So, please do a short introduction of it.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Anita. I wanted to thank the community for joining today, and for the patience for the questions, which we're going to get to. So I just wanted to touch on the solution itself. I know there's been some questions and some anticipation for a white paper. So just wanted to touch on the solution a little bit. It's evolved very slightly. So just to give the community an idea of what we're looking at, and where that sits today. So I'm not going to present my screen, but I'll just speak to it a little bit. So the challenges that we see in the telecom market globally, it's pretty standard across the board, regardless of what region in the world you're in. Is that one of the challenges is that you have a lack of ubiquitous and reliable internet connectivity, particularly on the mobile side. So many places still lack that high-speed connectivity that's ubiquitous and accessible to a lot of communities. The second piece to that, and they go very much hand in hand, is the affordable connectivity, especially when you're talking about underserved communities or communities that are a little bit far flung, rural areas and areas with lower density. So that can be a challenge, but also in dense areas, urban centers, that sort of thing. Sometimes prices can be kept intentionally high, sometimes, and it's due to a lack of competition. One of the other challenges that we see is internet centralization. So when the internet is controlled by a handful of companies and providers, it becomes a serious challenge when it comes to privacy, censorship, monitoring, and that sort of thing. So, I mean, we see it in the obvious countries around the world that are heavy in censorship. But as we see on the internet today, it's becoming more and more of an issue. So those are some of the challenges that we're seeing today. And where we're going on top of the global SIM is being able to create a permissionless layer one blockchain. So which will allow us to have intelligent decentralized networks. And a lot of the questions, and we'll get to this, I think, with the questions, but a lot of the challenges and delays that we've seen is because of the uncertainty in the market when it comes to regulatory environment. And I'm sure you've seen in the news the challenges in the US with the SEC. So a lot of that, is a bit of a hindrance to speedy progress. So what we're hoping to provide as well is on-chain regulatory compliance from an MVNO perspective. And that would allow us to do integrated data tokenization and integrated data encryption as well. So that's what we're driving towards. And the reason we're really driving towards these parts specifically is being able to have transparent pricing and terms that are verifiable on chain. So to give you an example, we were just traveling in Honduras to Roatan to engage with the special economic zone of Prospera. And I'm, obviously I've been in the mobile industry for decades now, and I still had to switch my SIM. And I still had challenges trying to find the right package. Half the time I was doing roaming on my Canadian SIM, which was extremely expensive. And the terms of what I was trying to do was very murky still. And that's me being in the industry. So I'm sure people can relate that, even if you're not in the industry, even if you are in the industry, it's confusing. So the regular consumer doesn't really stand a chance, unfortunately. So yeah, being able to have data tokenization and the ability to have, immutability and transparency is going to be really important. Really being able to hand power back to the end users when it comes to telecom infrastructure. And the reason that that's important is that communication is core to the world. So, the UN declared high-speed internet connectivity as a human right. Many countries around the world have followed suit. And so it becomes important when we look at centralization of who controls that today. So that's kind of where we're at today. Our product roadmap, right out of the gate, and we've talked about this before, is becoming an MVNO and being able to provide that SIM card and starting to generate revenue through our eSIM data packages. Yeah, so that's Anita. I think maybe an update from a personnel perspective or team perspective. We've just added a technical resource that has been building blockchain from the ground up for many years. So we're just getting up to speed with him, being able to see what he is going to create or what he has created. So we're just in the midst of that. There's lots going on in the background when it comes to resources. We've got another legal resource on board as well. And that will help us kind of, I guess, navigate the murky waters that the regulatory bodies seem to be creating every day.
Wow. Oh, Ricardo, I have a feeling that this is like a game changer in a way. When it comes to communication, I really work in communication my whole life, and just having this thought that someone cannot communicate the same way or has the same possibilities as maybe we do here in Europe it's unbelievable. But yeah, it still goes to things like that, where you can see that actually we have the same problem whenever we go somewhere, we're traveling somewhere. And would you say, Ricardo, this is in a way changing the game or even the history?
It is. People don't like change. Especially those that hold all the cards. Change is a terrible, scary word. So it will definitely change how things are done. We're going to face, I suggest, significant pushback, but that's why we're being very careful in how we develop our plan and our foundation to go to market, is that we can make sure that we navigate those roadblocks as easily as possible for the benefit of the community.
Ricardo, is it scary, to in a way go along this road and against maybe, like you said, people who hold cards? Because we know that this is actually a very strong lobby.
It is, and it is. Yeah, it is a strong lobby, and it is a little bit scary for sure. But I think it's important. I think that change and innovation happens by people willing to push the envelope and come up with innovative ways of delivering services to communities and consumers. And I think, with the advent of obviously the internet and different technologies like
Yes.
AI, yeah, we're seeing a different delivery mechanism that people are willing to push the envelope, and it's happening more and more. So it's I think it's important to push the envelope, and actually I find it exciting if we're um, changing an industry. For me, that's it's a feather in my hat. It's something that I thrive on. I hate going into an environment and people saying, well, this is the way we do it, this is the way we've always done it, and they've got their blinders on, and I just can't wait to rip them off.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for saying it this way, Ricardo. A really, really noble goal. I'm looking forward to that. Thanks for this presentation. And we do have some questions coming from our community, Ricardo. So let's just jump to that. So James had a question: is there a timeline for issuing white paper?
um, yes and no. So the white paper, we have it finished for the most part. The challenge that we ran into is we got advice that we need to take a step back and have legal re-review it. And in scenarios like this where we're doing an AMA and answering questions, we need to be really careful in how we're answering, and the information that we're putting out there. And again, like you've seen, likely the regulatory bodies, especially in the US, have been a little bit maybe confused, or just not sure which direction they're going to go. What's a security? What's not a security? What can you say? What can't you say? So it becomes a little bit of murky waters that we don't want to talk out of turn or say something that might be construed in the incorrect way. So the white paper, it's done. We just need to re-review it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put together a light paper, which will allow us to provide the main core of what we're trying to do, a bit of information that we feel comfortable that won't get us into trouble, and provide the community a good basis for what we're trying to do, and the community. So, and then the ETA on that is not quite there yet, but it's coming sooner than the white paper, unfortunately.
Okay. I think it's really important, of course, to listen to advisors and to people who know how it should be also done. And it's great that you're taking it that way. Another question is: how will Global SIM be promoted, and when will this start? Promotion.
So the global SIM, from a promotion perspective, will be through partners. Some telecom partners, as Sandi just mentioned, we've been in discussions with a few different carriers to work together. It will be with other communities as well that will promote it within their own communities. So we've got some agreements that are going back and forth about trying to create that. So, and then it'll just be your traditional marketing, and time wise. As soon as we get that our final agreements kind of signed up and finalized, then we'll be able to go. But we're on the cusp. We're pretty close, and yeah, we're excited to see it come out pretty quickly here.
Okay. We have James. He is with us right now, and he is asking: will Global SIM be launched country by country? Will some areas be more complicated to launch than others?
No. So the global SIM will be available right out of the gate in I can't remember the exact number. I think 230 countries or something, right out of the gate. So it won't be country by country, and it won't be complicated because it will have agreements already tied to the global SIM itself. So,
Okay, that answers the question. Any new partners or investors is the next question.
We do. Like I said, we've got agreements going back and forth to tighten up the T's and C's on both sides of the table. So we're close to getting to that one too. But yeah, we're hopefully going to have some information and specifics as to the communities, and the different groups that we're working with to move this forward. So.
Okay, thank you, Ricardo. Another one is the intention to partner with other telecom providers and for them to use your software,
Yes, absolutely. So the MVNO side is really where you're going to see that us ultimately becoming that software layer as part of their stack, and being able to provide everything that's within there to be able to service their network and their customers using our backbone.
Okay. There's another question from Pascal, and he's asking, why is Ricardo? So why are you not on the homepage of the team yet?
Yes. So with part of our launch of our product and all that kind of stuff, we have quite a bit of content that we're developing, and so we're just going to update everything all at once, as opposed to an update here and update once. So rest assured, Pascal, I'll be on the website soon enough.
Okay, that answers that question. Let's just see what is Jules writing. I know Ricardo mentioned about being careful on what to say and what not, but can he mention some of the telecom partners 3R is partnering with at the moment?
Thanks for the question. J. Jules. At the moment, unfortunately, no. We will have part of our agreements will have joint marketing and agreements around that sort of thing. And we currently, with a couple of different groups, we have some MOUs already in agreement with a major one as well. So we'll be able to provide that information. We're just not quite there yet. So I apologize.
Okay, that's fair. Ricardo, no matter where you or Sandi, you're always a part of the community. Also, I can see communicating there, answering the questions that come along. But we will be live again here in 2 weeks' time. Maybe just a short prediction, what will be happening, let's say, in those 2 weeks? What can happen?
So we're hoping to have, obviously, I can almost guarantee we'll be out. Actually, I shouldn't say guarantee. I push, sorry, cautiously optimistic. Paper will be out, and we're hoping that we'll be able to open the kimono is probably a bad phrase, but show a little bit more when it comes to our partnership and what that roadmap looks like. I think, to be perfectly honest, is some of the uncertainty in the regulatory environments around the world. And, let's be honest, a little bit of focus on what the SEC and the because a lot of other regulatory environments will likely follow suit, or at least ponder what they're doing. So I think our direction and our timeline, not our direction, I think our set in our direction, but our timeline will be very dependent on what that environment looks like and how we move forward.
Well, so 3R has a goal, and 3R is following that goal, right, Ricardo? And of course, we will be updating our community about what steps we are taking and what is going on. We will be back here in 2 weeks' time. I hope you will be also with us, Ricardo, because we're getting used to you now, and your answers. So thank you, of course, for being a part of 3R team, and I'm looking forward to the next AMA. Thank you for answering the questions that we came in the community right now here. And of course, we will be in touch. Thank you very much, Ricardo. Have a great day and a nice day, because it's all before you, in front of you.
Just beginning, yeah. Thanks, Nita, and
I'm,
thanks again to the community.
thanks, Ricardo. Bye bye.